right. Normally it's 3 working dads. Today it's just 2
Normally
working
it's 3
dads.
working dads. Yeah, I don't know that we've done one. Just
We haven't.
We spend a lot of one-on-one time together.
I'm pretty excited.
It will be fun. It will be fun. So let's acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
No, Matthew.
Very
AKA.
sad. Very sad.
Very sad. I think he's feeling sick.
Yes.
Oh,
Poor
should
Matt.
we pray for him?
Do
We both
something.
believe in the power of prayer. Maybe I'll do a quick one if that's okay. Dear God, please let Matt stop being a baby. Amen.
And come back to the
And come-
podcast.
No, we need him to come back because we barely figured out how to turn this thing on.
Oh, get well, Matt.
Get well. Well, look, before we start, can I do a big shout out?
Yes,
to
please.
something?
Yeah.
So I want to say a big thank you to the Sound of Ideas at IdeaStream Public Media and their host Stephanie Haney for having me on the show and being able to showcase what CDO is all about. So if you guys want to check out the episode clips on our Instagram page or visit the Sound of Ideas on YouTube or Instagram for the full show, it was an awesome time. Yeah. So full transparency, I mean, this is going to sound like a stupid question, but you know what NPR is, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, to be honest, I thought it was a radio show. I didn't realize they were actually going to have you on video.
So I didn't even know what NPR stood for. Okay. So the folks,
Being a BBC guy, I thought you'd know, like, oh, there's
I
a
know what
crossover.
BBC is, and then when you gave the BBC example, then it all twigged in my head.
Okay.
But so the good folks over at the Sound of Ideas reached out, depending on when this gets released, a few weeks ago now, and they came across the Chief Dad Officer platform, and they were putting together post Mother's Day. A panel of people all around, like how you built your community, how you built your village, and more so the fact that something that we have now created didn't really exist. And so we wanted to create it from the beginning to represent who we are, from an authentic standpoint. And it was a great opportunity to showcase it. But the gentleman who reached out, he gave me like a rundown of the show and everything sounded great. It kind of jived with what we wanted to showcase on our end. But that was it. I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. And he had offered a Zoom link at one point. So in my head, I'm thinking it will be no different to something like this.
Yeah.
It will be something that maybe gets pre-recorded. We'll be able to edit stuff, and then it'll get done. So Sunday night, I'm sitting there. I think maybe the Cavs were on or something. Or there was a game on. And I'm kind of, catching up my emails. And my wife says, are you nervous for tomorrow? And I was like, nervous? What do you mean nervous? She's like, you're on NPR tomorrow. I was like, remind me what NPR is again. So she explains it. And then she goes, it's live. And I went, it's live?
So I guess I should be nervous.
What's my name again? Well, that's what one of my buddies had texted and was just like, don't mess up saying your name. Don't mess up saying your intro. I was like, great. Thanks, everyone. Turned up. Studio was great. Host Stephanie, fantastic. Did a great job. And it was great meeting all the other.
Did you have any riders in your policy where you're like, I only eat blue M&Ms or anything like that for NPR?
I only eat brown M&Ms and I need someone to lick off the food coloring.
That's so gross.
So gross. I don't even know why that would be in my
Well, that's awesome, dude. You did a great job.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, NPR,
I
for reaching
appreciate
out
it.
and
I
giving us a
appreciate
platform.
it.
Yeah.
Any dad wins on your end?
No, we did a quick trip out to the West. My son is now, I think I had mentioned before, he's definitely going to ASU.
You didn't
I did
announce it yet. You left us on tenterhooks
Okay.
last time.
Did I? Yeah. So my son finally accepted. So he's
Fantastic.
going to ASU.
That's awesome.
We're pretty pumped. We visited their Tempe campus, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Genuinely awesome. Like for like, most kids when they, we're in Ohio, right? So
Yeah.
most kids end up going to like Ohio schools
Sure.
or schools around here. ASU, man. Like when there's palm trees and there's, beautiful weather, it's like, man, I think I want to go to college at ASU. So no, he's definitely going to ASU. We're super proud of him. Got a bunch of good scholarships, all that stuff,
That's
all the things
awesome.
you'd want. He's studying economics and he wants to be a lawyer. So it's pretty excited for him.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
First one
fantastic.
out of the nest, man. A little scary.
First one to go to college as well,
First
right?
one to go to college.
That's
yeah.
phenomenal.
Because my wife and I, neither of us went to college. So it'll be like, and neither my parents went to college. I think her dad went to college, but pretty much this is like a first generation college kid. Yeah,
Good
it's
for
pretty
him.
exciting. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is a big dad win.
Yep.
I have a bunch of listener comments that have come through this week.
Oh, let's hear them. I'm
Hear
sure they're
some of
all
them.
unbelievably kind with no opinions.
I'll filter them somewhat. I'll take out the mean ones. Okay, so let's jump into a couple of these. So remember we did the episode talking about your son getting into ASU,
Okay.
and wanting to be a lawyer. And you had made a comment all around, yes, it's one thing to be a corporate, worker, but learning to play golf opens up all these avenues,
Yes.
as we are both now finding in our 30s and 40s. Here's what someone has mentioned. So this person's name is George Christopher Dayton. I'm curious to get your opinion. Lawyer jobs are getting nuked by AI, and you still think golfing is what will make it stick around?
Oh, if anything, it sticks around more. And in AI, if you've ever been in a lawsuit,
Yeah.
you'll quickly realize like AI doesn't do a great job in front of the judge, right? So
Relationships are still undefeated.
dude, relationships are still undefeated. I mean, they are. If anything, it's more important to have all the soft skills.
Yeah.
Because the knowledge becomes less important than
Totally.
the soft skills. Yeah.
Well, Ken Kadick on the same topic said, not just golf, it used to be smoking too. You wouldn't believe the opportunities that landed on my lap just because I was at the smoke pit or went to have a beer after work. These are all water cooler conversations.
Oh, for sure.
Like relationships will never be replaced.
Exactly.
by-
That's the beauty of it. If you're in a job that is built on relationships,
Yeah.
sales,
Yeah.
legal, all those things, you're going to always have a job.
Yeah.
Regardless of what AI does. You'll
Totally.
always have a job.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Not a question, but a couple of comments here. So remember the topic when we were talking about wanting to get our kids into golf?
Yeah.
A couple of folks reached out regarding that topic. Matthew Brackey. My dad stopped playing when my sister and I were born. I started playing in my 40s. I would have loved to have had that with my dad when I was a kid. I'd either be great now or have been terrible for a really long time.
Such is golf.
Pretty accurate. David Douglas, not as kind. Wow. Thanks for not sharing anything useful, guys.
David, I'm sorry. I'm sorry everyone wasn't a banger. Next one's coming for you.
I think that was nicer than it could have been.
Probably.
All right. Do you remember the whole internet versus internet? This
Which still is like every time I think about it, it is living rent free in my head. Just to let you know, your internet to internet is living rent free in my head.
Well, apparently my southern accent is now living on the internet.
Yeah,
because the amount of comments we've had about this one. Let me go through a couple of these. I'm from so this is from. Do you know what? I actually love like the Twitter, TikTok, Instagram handles of people because I can never tell what this is. Ceramic bore vessel. That's what
All
this
right.
person's name is. I'm from New York. You said it very close to how we would say it. Your in is higher and further back in the palate, but your pronunciation is closer to a New York one than a southern one that you threw in. Okay, fine. Susie Bean says the first T is silent. It's internet. And then Pause and Petal went, no, you idiot. It's actually not silent.
Pause and pedal coming in hot.
Really helpful. We don't enunciate the T. It's internet. Actually, I say internet. No, it's internet. But I laughed so hard at the way you made your American accent like some Missouri country accent out of nowhere, which
It is.
Didn't
it's like
realize
you flipped the switch.
Doug Smith 725. That was the funniest Southern American accent, which makes it even more funny. And then the last one I'll give on this one is by someone called Jay Fight. My brother, that's a strong last name.
That is a
Jay
strong
Fight.
last name.
All right. My brother had similar issues when calling his bank, and the automated system didn't understand him when he said yes. He said it multiple times and even put on his best white boy accent, but it still didn't understand
What's a
him.
white boy accent?
You tell me.
Yes. Not like yes.
That was sassy.
That's
A little
sassy.
spicy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is a white boy? Yeah, whatever. It's okay.
All right, one more comment. This one made me laugh too. So you're giving this whole narrative around no drinks before dinner, and it resonated pretty well. A lot of people also doing the same thing. No sugary drinks. Adam S. West 28 says, "How about you don't feed your kids corn dogs or mac and cheese?"
Well, Adam West. This is Batman Adam West. Maybe this is Batman Adam
Maybe.
West.
Oh wait, John Harbaugh.
The John Harbaugh.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me click into the profile. No, and it's not. It's John G. Harbaugh.
Oh.
Not the same one.
I'm sure he gets that a lot. He gets a reservation. So let's see what this comment has from John Harbaugh.
I like your American accent. That's it.
Way to go, John Harbaugh. We like you.
I'm hoping it's the John Harbaugh, but unfortunately,
That would be
unfortunately,
great.
it's not. I love these listener comments, so thanks for sending.
Yeah,
sending
thanks
those in.
everybody.
Well, look, today's theme is all about dad sacrifices.
Sure.
Not to obviously negate the infinite sacrifices that mothers make as well.
Yeah.
But just being on this NPR show made me kind of reset how we came to creating the show, the village that we're creating as well. And just the topic of sacrifices came up, so I figured let's deep dive into this. So nobody explains the tiny sacrifices dads make all around: sleep, hobbies, money, friendships, spontaneity.
Good dads make.
Good dads make.
There's a big difference.
There's a huge difference. Huge difference.
We know a lot of. I know a lot of people who maybe haven't made as many sacrifices as they should have.
Yes, that's fair. Totally fair. Spontaneity,
Yep.
alone time, physical health, just being cool.
Yeah, just
Well,
being cool.
That one applies to you, I think, not to me. But the thing is,
What's the daggers, man?
I
the
don't
daggers.
know. I
You
don't
came
know.
in spicy today. It's okay. I can take it, dude. I'm wearing my
can I be honest?
Troon golf shirt. Like I'm cool, man.
okay. Can I
I'm
tell you?
cool.
Can I tell you
what's-
why I'm feeling sassy?
Why are you feeling sassy?
Look at the color of my coffee.
That's a little darker than normal, isn't it?
It's not great.
Yeah.
It looks like toilet water.
Well, I mean, it's half melted ice now at this point.
It's not great. Like I was feeling like an afternoon pick me up.
Yeah.
Went to grab like a coffee. You know when like they hand you the coffee,
You immediately know.
know it's
This is
bad.
gonna be bad.
And I just didn't have the energy to be like, would you like could you remake? I just,
Yeah.
you know what?
You seem to be a big Dunkin' guy. Are you a big Dunkin' guy? I don't like Dunkin' coffee.
I do like Dunkin'
Yeah,
coffee.
I don't. And
I
this
do.
is not a sponsorship request
Why
for them.
we're no longer getting a sponsorship now
Well,
that you don't like
maybe they can convince me to like it.
playing
No,
hard
I
to
just
get.
never. My son loves it. My ASU son loves it.
Does he drink hot coffee or iced coffee?
I only really drink hot coffee. I think he drinks iced coffee.
I think Dunkin's got good iced coffee.
Yeah, I don't think I've
which
ever
is-
had their iced coffee.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah.
If only I got a gift card to Dunkin'.
If only we got like $1 million sponsorship.
That'd be
with
really
Dunkin'.
cool.
That would be really cool. Well, they have Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Yeah, we're way better.
We're way better.
I mean, look at that hair you got.
We're way better best friends. All right, let's jump on in. So let's start with this segment: the things that dads quietly stop doing. Okay. What's one thing that you, from a hobby standpoint, miss?
I think maybe less hobbies, just kind of like my biggest thing is more like built around the idea of being able to have like relaxed time with your friends. I think that's it. Like I was never really a big hobby guy.
Yeah.
But we'll use one thing like working out.
Yeah.
Like it is like if you consider that a hobby, right?
I do. That's where I was going with my
Like
one.
it is so tight to be able to be like, okay, it is 7:15.
Yep.
I have 45
Yes.
minutes to try to get this
Yes.
workout in. Whereas before you could go to the gym and be like,
Totally.
you'll see some people at the gym and you're like, how are you here again? It's like, I've seen every time I'm here, you're here. And it's kind of shocking because it always looks like they're just walking around doing whatever. Whereas for me, it's like 45-minute window, get in, get out.
Yes.
So yeah,
You
I mean,
hit
that's-
the exact one. I feel like the gym is such frenetic time.
Yes.
That like while the gym is supposed to be there to help release endorphins and help you get like into, there's obviously the physical aspect of it, but there are mental aspects
Sure,
of like
100%.
working out. I sometimes feel more tightly wound being in the gym. Just like the frenetic nature of exactly what you said. I need to be in and out in 45 minutes, whether it's kid related stuff, meetings that need to like take place.
whatever it is.
I just don't feel like the gym is a relaxing space anymore.
As much as it used to be.
As much as it used to be.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. What do you think when you became a dad for the first time? What do you think was like one of the first things that you sacrificed?
I mean, it has to be around like schedule, like
Yeah.
schedule, sleep,
Yeah.
all of it. Like you just kind of, your schedule is no longer like the most important schedule.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't realize that out of the gate. And even if it is like the most important schedule in the sense of like, well, I got to get up and go to this business meeting because that's how we earn the money for the family, all those types of,
Yeah.
Things. In reality, it's still like, well, if a kid is crying at 2 a.m. in the morning, it doesn't matter what you have to do at 5:30.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just life.
Dude,
So-
I when I saw that, I thought immediately just like spontaneity
Yeah.
or spontaneous weekends. You're getting back to
A
that.
little bit back to it. I do,
Somewhat.
but
Every now and then I'll be like, what are you doing this weekend? And you're like, I'm in Miami. I'm like, how are you in Miami again? Like, I don't understand how you're in Miami. You'll come back on a Monday just with like a tan.
Super tan.
And I'm like, where have you been?
Just jetting around.
Just at the F1. At the F1.
No, I mean, it takes a long time to get there, though. So if you're in the throes, if you're a dad in the throes of it, you have to realize, like, there gets a point where you can't. And we also are pretty, like, restrictive over what we let our kids do in the sense of, like, we're not the family who's going to be like, every kid's in ballet, soccer, baseball, whatever. It's like, we typically they're allowed in one sport per season. So if it's basketball or soccer or ballet or whatever, they all get to do it, but we're just not, we're not running around with our heads cut off because we have so many kids.
Yeah.
We're still running around like crazy, but we try to protect some of it.
What do you think dads miss, but like never admit?
Friends. Like, I think it's really hard for dads to admit that they miss friends.
Yeah.
In fact, I overheard a guy talking about the other day, and he's like, the number one thing that no one tells you when you become a dad is, like, not that you don't have friends. It's just, you know, you leave for work. This guy was talking specifically. He's like, I leave for work at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
He's like, by the time I get home, it's like 6:45. So I sit down with my kids. I try to eat with them as much as I can, but they've already either eaten or they're just getting up. He goes, I eat real quick. I then put them to bed. And he goes, by that time, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So, like...
Well, then you also have to factor in, like, giving mental space to your wife as well.
100%. And so quickly, you're like, the whole day's gone.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a good dad, like, there's things a good dad, a good husband, all those things.
Yeah.
You slowly like, well, what's the one thing I can get rid of? Well, my friends, because they'll still be there. Like, you could leave for 6 years, come back, and your same friends
100%.
Go, dude, where you been? And like, did we know? So like, you just
everyone's wearing the same clothes.
100%. Literally talking about the exact same story 6 years later.
It's so true.
To where, like, I think as a guy, you're like, well, that's the one thing I can sacrifice. So in my opinion, it'd be that sort of those friendships. They're so easy to just kind of move on from. Probably not the right thing to do, but they're the easiest thing.
How do you combat that? I don't have a good answer for it. I'm curious whether you have one.
I think I've found friends in like my workplace that like it makes it a little bit easier because you're spending time with them anyway.
Yeah.
So like for us if we were like, we went to Philly together, we've gone to a couple places together. We got to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
If we didn't like each other,
it
had been pretty challenging.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just nice you get to work with people you like because there are things that you get to do. Whereas I don't think I would have ever planned on scheduling a 3-day week to go to Philly with just you and me to steakhouses. Like, it just doesn't even make sense.
Did we just become best friends?
I think we became friends. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it's like working with people you like being around is like a hack for a dad or a mom to be like, find a place you like to work, find a place you like to be with the people that you work with, because you're going to spend so much time with them. Yeah. Might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, totally. You went way deeper than I did. You know what I was thinking?
What's that?
Things that I miss. It's just relaxing vacations.
Oh, sure.
Do you know why? You know why this came up recently? So obviously going through like a house renovation, and you know we run into a couple of delays naturally with any kind of renovation. So my wife and I were like umming and ahhing over, you know, should we still stick around in this rental? Should we maybe go away for a week? And then we did like the mental gymnastics of what it would take to go away for a week with 4 children and all the things that we would need to pack, and we very quickly were like, no, I think we're good staying in Northeast Ohio for another week. So
that kind of goes into your spontaneity as well. Like you just can't be. There's too much infrastructure required.
Dude, when it comes to spontaneity, there's one story that always like sticks out for some reason. I think it was like 2015 or 2016. And the Guardians, when they were still the Indians, they were in, I can't remember whether it was the ALDS or the ALCS at the time. And they were playing the Red Sox. And they were playing in Boston. And it was the last series before David Ortiz retired as well. Okay. And this is, actually, it's the year the Guards made, or the Indians made the World Series, I think, in 16, right? They made it in 16. Yeah. And they were playing in Boston at Fenway. I'd never been to Fenway. And the game was on at whatever time in the evening. And my wife texted me and she's like, hey, I'm at work right now and I'm on like, you know, Ticketmaster or whatever. It'll probably take us 4 hours to drive. Do you want to like leave work an hour early and just go to the game? And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
And that was the last time you were spontaneous.
And we were never spontaneous ever.
And we've done nothing that's not planned
well,
since.
No. So she buys the tickets. And she buys the tickets and it starts pouring down with rain. So the game gets canceled before we start driving.
Okay.
But then they reschedule the game to like, I think the next day or whatever it was. And same thing, my wife was like, do you still want to go? And I was like, yeah, let's just do it. We drove in a car, we watched the game, and we drove back the same. We must have got back at like 4 a.m. and then gone back to work the next day.
Yeah, that's fun.
But like, you're up for like however long,
40 hours straight or whatever. Yeah.
Sleep for maybe 3 of them, and you're just like ready to like go straight back.
That's
I can't
gone.
even.
That's
imagine.
part of that's age, right? Part of that's
100%.
age. But like
100%.
The whole idea of just like going out late, partying or doing whatever, not even partying, just doing whatever, and then just kind of like rallying the next morning. Dude, it's like 3-4 days to catch up now.
I know.
Because like this morning, we try to like wake up, we try to beat our kids. And this morning, I think
we try to beat our kids.
awake, not physically. Try to beat our kids awake. And it's like, it'll be, I think we woke up at like 5:55 this morning.
Yeah.
And we had 3 kids awake already. We're like, oh, come on.
We're going through that phase right now.
How do we get up earlier than you guys? Like, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. I'm not that guy.
No, you can't.
And it's where it's like, do you even try to wake up early anymore? So on the weekends, everybody sleeps in typically. So we're pretty good on the weekends. But man, trying to outpace those kids in their sleep habits.
It's hard. What about thinking about like financial stuff? What's the most dad financial sacrifice that you find yourself making these days?
I don't know. Being cool. Being cool. No.
I've got a really stupid one.
What's a good one?
So I don't know if I care to share this in pure detail, but we spent like, I don't know, maybe $500 on a stroller recently.
Ugh.
Without blinking.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
We have 4 children.
Yeah.
My wife is like, I need something that can transport 4 children, right? Fine. But then I sit there sometimes and we're in the line for Starbucks or Dunkin', and I'm like, do I really need oat milk today? It's like $1 extra for oat milk. Do I really need oat milk? Meanwhile,
500. You had 500 oat milks just get spent. That barely fits in the back of your vehicle because it's such a big stroller.
The mental arithmetic that sometimes goes on in my head is so silly that I will just spend X on like a stroller.
Yeah.
But the minute like we go through a drive-through line, and the kids will be like, I want a hot chocolate. I'm like, well, we're getting 4 cups because we are splitting this hot chocolate. Because you girls are not drinking. Like, you've never finished a hot chocolate in your entire life.
And it's so complicated to do it. You feel stupid asking for multiple cups. All the things, right?
There's a coffee place I go to now that knows to do that.
Oh, that's
and it's
nice.
Amazing.
That's great.
They'll be like,
that's
hot
awesome.
chocolate for the girls. And it will already be like, they'll charge me for one, and they'll then divvy it out. Like they'll divvy it so I don't have to do it,
that's
which
good.
is actually
that's
which
no,
is
that's
really
fun.
Really well done actually.
Yeah, we've always like the clothing on kids is always shocking to me, just in terms of that expense. So when you talk about expenses going out, like I'll be arguing over, like you said, like should I get the extra patty on your burger for like whatever $1 or the oat milk, which is 60 cents or whatever. Yeah. Meanwhile, you're like, well, do I want to buy the shirt that's going to last a month or the one that should last 2 or 3 years and I can hand it down to other kids? So you're trying to do all that math.
What would Matt say?
Buy it. Yeah, what would Matt's wife say? What would Anna say?
You know what my other slightly bad like habit is when it comes to like sacrifices is, yes, there's a sacrifice from the standpoint of I'm not like a big spender when it comes to clothes and shoes and all that kind of stuff, and I'm always like, my wife will go and she's pretty frugal with all that stuff as well. But if I'm buying something for myself, I think you've shared this before, is research it to death.
Take all the fun out of it.
It's
I do the same thing.
Terrible.
I did the same thing.
Like recently, like we're thinking of like redoing like the windows in our house. I could probably tell you every statistic you need to know about like windows.
Double pane, triple pane,
dude.
Gas sealed.
I could probably tell you every statistic that the historical board will look for. But it's mind-numbingly infuriating. I know what I'm doing, and if you were to like check like my Chat GPT or Claude like history, it's like Windows. Just
like this guy's got a thing for Windows.
This guy's a freak. He loves double pane.
Do you really like?
He loves double hung. But like it's with everything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll delegate the purchasing of something to my wife, because like if she is to say go get a stroller for the kids, I will analyze that thing to death. We will have, if needed, a spreadsheet on pros and cons of getting something. I was looking at some shoes the other day, and I couldn't decide. And I just said to my wife, I was like, can you just pick?
Can you please give me shoes?
No, I did.
I
said,
I'm
this
not
is-
that far off. The cognitive load on that sort of stuff. I'm always like, hey, hun, I just need you to just get my like wardrobe done so I can just know what to pick out, because I'm terrible at this. For whatever reason, when I buy something, I come home like, why did I just buy that thing? That's not what I want. I'll say one thing. From having a lot of kids,
Yeah.
this is one sacrifice that is the most ridiculous thing to say is a sacrifice.
Tell me.
Cars.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, I can't go buy a normal car.
Oh,
Because we have so many
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
So we either have, like, we all have these large cars, like Suburbans and so on, which
Yeah.
they're not bad cars. They're,
Yeah.
they're perfectly fine cars.
Yeah.
But like, I've all like, you've got a nice car,
Yeah.
a nice like smaller car,
Yeah.
where it's like, there's some like nice 7-seater or like 5-seater SUVs out there. I'm like, man, that'd be
Those
super.
12-seaters look great.
Those would be so much fun
Are
to drive.
Are you guys rocking like a passenger van these
We
days?
have a big one. We don't.
Yeah.
We it's actually in the shop right now, so we just
Okay.
do 2 Suburbans. But
Yeah.
it's just the idea of like, there's a whole bunch of really cool cars that are completely off the menu because it's like, well, they don't fit enough kids. You know, you start thinking of football practice and all the stuff you throw in the back. It's like, well, it's just not practical anymore. And I know this is like the stupidest thing to be like, oh darn, I have to drive a Suburban or whatever you're driving. But it's just one of those things where like it's an odd sacrifice. You're like, well, when you have a big family, you only can drive cars that can support big families.
You are also about to, I think you've just gone through this slightly great period where your eldest learned to drive, became a driver for the family,
Yep.
and now you're sending him off
Yep.
out west, and you're about to lose a driver.
We get one more driver before he's gone.
Who? Oh,
My daughter, she becomes a driver.
Oh, okay.
And then every year from basically now for the next 10 years, we get a new driver.
we have a new driver.
So we got past the 2-year gap. So we'll be okay as long as everybody can figure out how to drive, which my daughter, phenomenal driver.
Seriously?
Like, I'm not even kidding you.
Wow.
Like, really good driver. Like,
Naturally, or you taught her?
I mean, we taught her, but she's just naturally like, braking. When you teach something,
It's so jerky. It's
Oh
like
my gosh,
jerky
she's
braking.
like, she is like super great at braking. There's some times obviously when you gotta put some authority in your voice when you're telling her
Yeah.
to do something. But no, she's a fantastic driver. So yeah, a lot of high hopes. So yeah, man, I think we're gonna be pretty good.
So you're
with
not
the
just getting
driver.
a driver, you're getting an upgrade. I'm not going to say.
Yeah, you said it, not me.
I didn't say anything. What's one purchase that you've over-researched in your life? Do you have one that comes to mind?
I mean, every car I've ever purchased.
Yeah.
Like, I literally know more than the dealer when I walk in there. Like, I'm telling him exactly what I want,
Yeah.
how I want it done,
Yeah.
the price I'm willing to pay, not because the deal's there, but just because I've researched it so much. Like, it's annoying. Like, my wife is literally like, you have taken all the fun out of getting a new car because you've overanalyzed it. Like, you don't enjoy it. Like, because I physically don't enjoy it. It's like,
Yeah.
I've already made the decision. Now it's just get. I go in a dealership, I'm like, I need this done in literally 30 minutes. Like, I don't need to test drive it. I don't care. I just want the paperwork done. I want to get out of here in 30 minutes. It's probably a pretty bad relationship with those type of expenditures.
Ugh.
How about you?
Car seats is a really bad one.
Oh, car seats are.
I just anything baby related. I
Yeah.
have this. I don't know if it's a rule, but normally when it comes to like building things around the house, I get stuck obviously building it. Just being the man of the house. I should have said that more confidently. Being the man of the house. But like when it comes to, I'm trying to think of like a good example. If I'm putting together a couch or a desk or something, yeah, maybe I'll ask like whether it's a friend or a family member to help. If it's like a 2-person task, I'll definitely do that. If it's something kid related, like putting together a bed for the kids, installing a car seat, or anything that is going to have a kid sitting, sleeping, whatever in it, I will not ask anyone for help.
Oh, really?
Because mentally, like,
You want to own that
I
responsibility?
want to own that responsibility. Should, God willing, nothing has happened, should something happen, I never want it to be like, is it
It
because
was Andrew who put that screw in.
I knew he held the hammer the wrong way around. I just don't like it. I can't. I
That's
can't do
bizarre.
it.
I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, it obviously shows a lot of ownership. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Or some mental issues. Thanks for making that. Thanks for the positive spin. That shows good ownership.
That's
Actually,
good ownership. Meanwhile,
that should
it's
go
like,
in your.
we got to do some deep dive analysis on this guy.
All right. What about this is such a standard one, sleep sacrifice, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's every parent every time, all the time. Right?
Well, can you think of like what's the longest stretch of exhaustion you've ever had?
I went through this phase where, partly was the kid's fault, partly was just obviously everything else going on, where I don't know if I really slept for it was like about a 2-week stint, like insomnia, because it got to the point where it was like, I don't know, my body was like, didn't want to go to sleep because I'd be up late with the kids.
How many kids did you have at that point?
We probably had six kids or something at that point.
Okay.
I think it was about six. I think it was 6 kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was terrible. That was the longest. But like we would go into stretches. Like every kid we would have, we would probably have, a couple week period where you're getting 2-3 hours of sleep a night, which is, I mean, you just start sleeping anywhere at that point. Like you'll sit down on the couch to, whatever with a kid, and it doesn't matter what they're doing, you fall asleep. So, but I mean, I'm probably up and to the right in terms of that problem. How about you?
Probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Just longest stretch of exhaustion. Yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
5 years. How's my
actually 5.5 years?
Yeah.
See, she's 5.5 today. Yeah. I actually think your body adapts after a while.
It does. It has to.
And I don't know. I don't need long stretches. Let me rephrase. I need probably about 6 hours of sleep a day, but it doesn't have to be like 6 hours of consecutive sleep. So if I can get like 2-3 hours in like a stretch, and if the kids are up in the middle of the night, whatever, I'll get like another stretch of sleep after. I just don't think it matters after a while. I maybe in the last couple of years, and maybe since we've been doing this as well, I've started to set my expectations lower, not like in a negative way, not like in a like, these guys are going to let me down.
Yeah.
But more so the kids.
Yeah, just flow, go with it.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're similar to you guys, between 5:55 and 6:15 every single day without fail, at least 1 to 2 kids is up. And I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yep. Can't get angry with it.
No, you can't.
Unless I ask for snacks for the 17th time. Then you can get angry.
Dude. My second oldest had, like, your kids eat fruit pouches, like those apple pouches.
Yeah.
She, like, gets into our bed, like, brings in, like, an apple pouch. She's like, Dad, can you open this? I'm like, yeah. So I open it and, like, turn over and give it to her. And then, like, I just feel like slime down here. And the poor kid has gone to squeeze it. Yeah. It's just gone all over me. You know when you just can't be bothered?
Yeah.
I
just wipe it off and go back to bed.
I don't think I wiped it off. We're changing the sheets anyway. We need to do that. But
sacrifice, right?
I know. All right. What about things that we don't pretend like bother us? What's the hardest invisible part of being a dad? And I'll maybe throw like a few things at you.
Yeah, sure.
Financial pressures, providing for the family, feeling like you can't mentally shut off every single day, missing anything kid related because of work or just responsibilities, wanting to provide more, feeling like everyone's like depending on you. And apologies if none of these applied, but now suddenly you are feeling the
I kind of don't want to end the podcast right now. Go in a corner somewhere. I think my biggest pressure, it changes, right? So like when you're young, like we got married young, we had kids when we were young, and everything was financial related. Like everything was like, how do we survive?
Yeah.
But then you get a little bit older, you get in your 30s, you start making some money and whatever else, and you start figuring out how to like, okay, what type of lifestyle do I live? Am I able to live those type of things? Kind of settle into that.
Yeah.
I would say one of the things that I still struggle with today is like, how do you effectively be a good role model for both your daughters and then your sons, right? To where it's like, how do I demonstrate to my daughter the type of man that she should look for, right, in somebody else? And then how do I demonstrate to my sons the type of man that they should be and the type of like woman that they should look for in a certain way of like, what should you be looking for? So like, it's more of like, how do you train them to have the good, positive relationships, right? That's literally the biggest thing I struggle with in terms of working with my kids. I don't really know what the question was, but I just kind of
invisible pressures.
That's the invisible pressure is like, I've got a son going away to college and, I hope he has a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I hope he has fun in a way that's like, that honors him, honors our belief system, honors other women. Like I just honors everyone. As opposed to being somebody who, maybe wouldn't be proud of telling those stories around the dinner table.
Yeah.
And so that's actually the pressure that I think we head into now is like,
You know what we should do?
those types of things.
He should be playing this episode on repeat on the plane on the way on the way to Tempe.
Probably. And he actually listens to every single episode. He's got so much deep track knowledge on Chief Dad Officers. It's kind of shocking.
Still remembers the jacket you didn't buy him at the F1 at the F1 race.
The Peanuts jacket. Oh, dude, I will never live that down. I still feel bad because I tore that jacket apart. Like, who buys it? And my wife was like, "That's his favorite." I was, oh. No, but so that's. What about you? What's your invisible pressure?
Similar to what you had mentioned, I got married a little bit later, so I think the financial pressures of it, I think I had somewhat alleviated just because, you know, I had my first kid when I was 30.
Yeah.
And so not to say that those don't exist, but they're different when you're 21,
class,
20, 22 at that point in time. My biggest invisible pressure right now is schooling decisions for the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if many parents have this, and maybe it's to pick on the phrase that you had said at the very start of this episode. It's like, not every parent does care, because sometimes they'll just say, oh, well, now that the kids turned 5, I can turn them over to the public school system and my responsibility is done. Like, I've literally spoken with dads who are like, thank goodness they're on the school bus now because it's not my problem. And I'm like, the responsibility doesn't end like the minute they turn 5. Like, if anything, it becomes harder because now you're starting to create like an actual human being who's able to absorb things from society, friends, pressures, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the piece that I struggle with the most is like, are we making the right educational decisions for these children? Whether it's, you know, any kind of religious background, any kind of, you know, secular versus non-secular, and just what kind of environment we want them to be exposed by and to, but also things that we picked up in that book, The Anxious Generation, around bend, don't break. You can't coddle your children the whole time. And I think the biggest thing I'm struggling with, being somewhat of a control freak, is I can't coddle these children as much as I want to.
5.5, you still can coddle them, but
you can.
but like around 8 years old, you start being like, man, they're like, they have their own kind of like proclivities, and they're like, they have their own friends, and there's going to be relationships that you can kind of see, but like, as you get older, it gets harder and harder and harder. So like with all my teens now, they've got friends that like I've never met, and they're going to hang out with people that I maybe not, and you're just hoping that you train them properly in their younger years. So I completely can see that.
There's a phrase that I like read, and I kind of noted it, that said, dads spend a lot of time pretending they're not stressed so everyone else can feel safe. And like, that's literally like encapsulates it.
That's it
in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's like
lawsuit going on. Nothing happened. It's fine.
all good.
AI. It's fine.
All good.
Yeah. It's insane. Or anything work related going on. It's just like, well, it's also not on you to burden your family.
Well, that's kind of how I feel. Is like, a lot of these you're at the some family's birthday party, and your world is maybe not burning, but it's smoldering.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so how's your day going? You're like, fantastic.
This cake, whoever chose this cake, wonderful.
I had apple sauce on my face this morning, and this cake is delicious.
But the funniest thing is, at that party, for someone, the decision between vanilla frosting and chocolate frosting was the most important decision that day.
100%.
And you're sat there trying to figure out.
And they tell you the 45-minute story of how they came to a decision between chocolate or vanilla. And you glance at your wife like, this is seriously what my life has come to?
This is what your life could have been had you not been ambitious. Maybe. Oh man. All right. What about the identity sacrifice? We've touched on it a little bit, but is there an old version of yourself that you miss? You obviously got married when you were super young, but is there any version of you that you miss or you wish you could kind of bring into your dad life?
I think I've done a decent job of coming back to that guy.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that, with someone that's just based, like, looks at fun, like wants that fun.
Yeah.
Because there was a season where when you're a parent of young kids, and it's just, you're keeping them alive solely through your sheer effort and actions, kind of like where you are right now. Like, your kid relies on you for every moment of their life, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's really hard to maybe have that same level of fun. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but for me, it was very challenging when you had sort of this multi-threaded issue of like, you have school decisions, you have, how are you going to make, your house payment? How are you going to do all this?
Sure.
Meanwhile, your kids, all those things kind of like weigh on you, and the fun gets sucked out pretty quickly. It's really hard to have fun. So like, I think I've been able to sort of get back to having a lot more fun. And like, that's maybe what I'm searching for today still, is like, how do I get back to being the fun that I used to have? Maybe the more carefree, because like you said, all the invisible burdens, like at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to carry them around.
Yeah.
Like, that's me carrying them. I can like, whatever, me thinking and dwelling on them doesn't really help the situation. So yeah, that's kind of how I would break it down. Yeah.
Mine is, I don't know how to like frame this. Like, I miss like not having a lot. Like, how do I frame this? Like, I miss not having a lot, if that makes sense. Like, if I think back to
being
when
light. Like,
well, I think back to like when I being asset light.
It's being like, there's no $500 stroller I have to worry about.
Well,
I just roll out of bed.
No, it's more so around like, I think like when you have kids and you have businesses and you have like whatever you have now, you just have more to lose. And I miss like a time when you had everything to gain. And you look back at like, you got married like in your 20s, and I met my wife when we were dating like in our 20s. And when you're in your 20s and you're just starting out, you're both like just a bunch of dreamers.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't wait till we have this, and I can't wait till we do this with the kids. And that's you don't realize it in that time, because that time is super stressful because you have absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And you are worrying about how you're going to make like payments and how you're going to get pre-approved for whatever, as far as like rental payments or whatever else. But sometimes like when I look back, like in hindsight, I want to like look at that kid and just shake him and be like, you have no responsibilities. You have so much time ahead of you, and just enjoy the spontaneity of like going for a walk, going for a coffee, getting a bagel, walking around Central Park, just aimlessly. We'd spend weekends just aimlessly walking around, because just living and existing in New York costs money. So we were like, okay, we can just grab a coffee and we can walk around and talk for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
But I think I just miss like, and I probably framed it really poorly, but like, just not having a lot at that point in time was kind of liberating, because like I said, you have so much like from a decision-making standpoint, and instead of going into like my final question, I'll kind of sort of gloss over it somewhat and weave it into this, is the decision fatigue that you have now, or just the sheer number of decisions that you have to make is insane. Because the permutations aren't just for you; the permutations are for 13 people. In your instance. So anyway, I just kind of rambled a bit on that answer, but that's my one. It's just having the nimbleness.
Nimbleness. Like I said, like the agility. It's like you said, like should we go away for a week and maybe take the kid, and you're kind of like, that means I got to pack up a house. Like it's like, nah, it's just not even worth it at that point. So that anchoring feeling that like. That has, in some ways, is good because you have, a house is no longer a house, becomes a home. All those things.
Sure.
The flip side of it is like you're not nomadic anymore. It's like your buddies can't call you up. You can't just be like, hey, we're gonna jump. Me and my wife, whatever. We're gonna jump in a car and go to a game
100%.
for 2 days, right? You kind of have more of a, more anchored. And I'll end it with, or I'll add one more piece of advice on it is. When we were going through these things, my brother's wife, Joe's been on the podcast.
Yeah,
Joe's wife, Brooke.
Yeah.
She told my wife and I something one day. We were talking about, I think it was about our kids going to school, and she gave us this piece of advice, and we literally repeat this piece of advice all the time. She's like, if it's something that you guys are thinking and praying on and talking about regularly, it means you care. And when you care, it means you're going to put the effort in to make the right decision. So regardless of what the decision is, it's like, you care enough to have a discussion about it and to be intentional about the decision. Who cares what the outcome is? Because you put that effort in. And so we talk about it all the time in the sense of like, are we doing the right thing for this kid? Are we doing the right thing for that kid? And just the idea that we're asking that question and we're trying to find an answer is like the check mark to be like, you're going to get to the right answer. Even if the kid doesn't turn out exactly as you wanted, or even if the outcome isn't exactly what you wanted, it was still probably the right answer because of the effort you put in terms of the parent side of the equation.
It's a great place to end.
Yeah.
Why is it that any wife or the wives always have like the good sound bites?
I don't know, man.
We haven't got a single good sound bite.
We're just parents over here.
Yeah. just, we, just talking about golf, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good place to end. Normally, this would be Matt's bit, but we can jump in. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on all streaming platforms on Spotify, Apple, and wherever else you find your podcast. We're also available on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and the handle for all of the platforms is @ChiefDadOfficers.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.